This is Great Millstone, taught us his truth, and rule well, all right? Who are the leaders over the nation of Israel? And shalom to the elect out there of you men, women, and children, all right? Well, which consists of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, as well as the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad. And this is just another, quick update on, one prophecy spoken of in the book of Isaiah and Second Ezra, I believe the 15th chapter. All right, which we've been saying that there is going to be civil unrest in the society. All right, there is going to be civil wars. People within America going at it. Okay, for various different reasons. All right, but this is from the military.com. It says 2 Virginia Guardsmen are running a rural anti-government militia. All right, it says U.S. Army Staff Sergeant Daniel Abbott, a horizontal construction engineer assigned to the Virginia Army National Guard, leads the way on the ruck to the next event site during the 2023 Army National Guard Best Warrior Competition at Black Rapids Training Area, Alaska, July 10th, 2023. What I wanted to get here was, it says 2 Virginians run a local county-approved militia, one that has made overt threats against the government. So they're outspoken against the government. And that's what sedition is, man. All right? Sedition. Let's grab that. Well, what is sedition? Sedition, it says rebellion, uprising, revolt, factitious commotion in the state, concerted attempt to overthrow civil authority, violent strife between factions, civil or religious order, riot, rebelliousness against authority. And that's what you see. All right? This is just in one aspect. On the flip note, you have Jake out there that understand that regardless of what happens during the 2024 elections, whatever the outcome is, Jake is waking up to the fact that this country can't help them. All right? And on the flip, these Edomites, they understand that these politicians and so on and so forth are bought out, paid for. All right? And they aren't going to solve anything. And Esau knows that his kingdom is at its end. All right? So we're just seeing that. We're seeing the division. Yahushua said it himself. I'm going to grab that scripture. This is the book of Luke, the 11th chapter and the 17th verse. It says, but he, speaking of Yahushua, knowing the thoughts, said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to a desolation, and a house divided against itself. It's like a house divided against a house fallen. And clearly the house of Esau is divided, man. All right? Just think on the political level, right? The 2 political parties, Democrats, Republicans. All right? You have all these factions and Edomite militias out there with different, different outlooks on things. All right, at variance with one another, and even on a higher level, right? Even with the elites. It says, verse 18, if Satan also be divided against himself, how shall his kingdom stand? Because he say that I cast out devils through Beelzebub, right? When Yahushua was on the scene and performed miracles and wondrous works, they accused him of doing such, all right? But he spake unto them and said that every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, man. And Esau is divided against himself. So the result of that will be the civil unrest, civil wars, man. These devils going at it. And then in the midst of that, you're going to have Jake caught up in that, right? The scriptures talk about, how the Lord would set the Egyptians against the Egyptians. The modern day Egypt being America, right? Babylon the Great in the scriptures. Pursuing Revelation 11:8, spiritual Sodom in Egypt. And our people always had a love affair with Egypt, man. Going way back. Wanting to be as the Egyptians. So the Lord is going to have Jake caught up in these civil skirmishes. Because you got Jakes out there thinking they could take up arms and, take action for themselves. This is Isaiah. This is the book of Isaiah. Salat. This is Isaiah 19:2. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. Right? The scriptures talk about, how thus with violence, that great city, Babylon the Great, shall be cast down. All right, so you're gonna have a lot of things taking place in this society, man. Violence. Hey, don't be surprised if Esau has agent provocateurs set up to cause certain things to happen. That's where you have order out of chaos. They cause chaos and then justify themselves in bringing in the order. This is the book of 2nd Ezra 15 and 14. It says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein. Woe meaning destruction. For the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. What that sound like? All right, so the modern day sword being a firearm. The sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard the kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power, meaning they're going to take matters into their own hands. They shall not regard the kings nor princes, which the equivalent of that would be these various politicians, local governors, and so forth, man. All right, for this will be sedition, the point. Again, sedition is rebellion, uprising, revolt, right? Attempt to overthrow civil authority. And as I was looking at the comment section underneath this article, you got other Edomites on the thread. talking about this very thing, taking matters into their own hands and coming up against the government, right? It says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Why? Because they're going to come with that martial law and set up different perimeters around these cities, man, these counties and so forth, to where it's going to be damn near impossible to move around. Lockdowns and so forth. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Those are the times we're coming into, man. The time of Jacob's trouble. It says before, because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, man. And these people are proud as hell in this society. The houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy the houses with the sword, spoil their goods, because of the lack of bread, and for great tribulation. Right? Hard times. For the lack of bread, going into famines, man. But going back to that article, it says they also both happen to be top performing non-commissioned officers in the Virginia Army, National Guard, serving the very government. One of them, as repeatedly warned, is drifting toward tyranny. So these Edomites are upset, man. They're upset at America's course right now. And this is all they're doing in Yahweh B'Shem El Shai. This is the purpose. The Lord has a judgment set for this place, man. And before that, he's bringing this place down economically, morally, so forth. It's a seemingly contradictory set of rules or roles that likely runs afoul of new army rules that explicitly prohibit anti-government behavior with soldiers both on active duty and in the guard. It says the militia, which appears to be mostly white based on photos posted to his public-facing social media, was formed roughly 5 years ago, following a rise in other similar groups in Virginia after a Democratic wave of victories in the state and gun control fights. Yeah, man, anyway, with that, we'll see in the near future what happens. Giving all praises, honor, glory once again to Yahweh B'Shem El Shai, B'Shem Rekakudash. Double honors to our apostles and elders, the great millstone, taught us the truth. And peace and blessings to the hopeful elect to the next one. Shalom.